Good, how are you?
Not bad. Okay, welcome everybody to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, tell a friend, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. On the docket today, we have Adults Adopting Adults, Season 1, Episode 3, Chewing on His Behalf. Oof. Oof. What'd you think about the episode overall until we get a few more people in
Um,
the chat?
you know what? It wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause we saw, what do we see? Like, so with Bianca and her family, we see them moving forward. With Kim and Valerie, I kind of thought that was an interesting dynamic, but I think next week's gonna be even better. Cause I have a feeling that Vicky's gonna lose her mind. And then we have Danny and Christy. That's just creepy. So overall, it wasn't a bad episode. It just kind of is this. It's like this episode is moving us into the next part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
was
we
there was a
finally, Frederick, we got a new
yes,
uh
Frederick.
Isaac is the best. I love Isaac.
Oh, Isaac is hilarious. He don't care.
But Isaac said Frederick thinks that he's Hollywood, royalty, but he's not.
But he's not.
I feel like Isaac is like a retired actor or something, and they live in the same condo building. That's
Agreed.
how I feel. But yeah, they didn't disappoint. I think I needed a little comedic relief in at least one of these storylines because there's so much creepiness in Danny's
Right.
thing. But who do you want to start with?
I think we should start off with Bianca. Let's start. Let's start with Frederick since he's our newbie.
Okay. So he's a German prince. He was also adopted as an adult by one of the Kaiser's daughters or granddaughters, something like that. But it's a German principality that he has inherited when he was adopted as an adult by his adopted mom. Then he talks a little bit about Zsa Zsa Gabor, and the Gabor Family Trust has to be run by a family member. And he doesn't have an heir. So the trust will be dissolved if he doesn't adopt somebody. But I swear Zsa Zsa had a daughter with um, Nikki Hilton. Is she dead? Is Zsa Zsa Gabor's daughter? I think her name was Francesca. Hold on, because why couldn't didn't Ava have children? Ava Gabor, didn't she have children? And they had another sister too, because it was the three Gabor sisters and the mama.
Jaja, Magda, and Ava.
Right. Um,
Francesca Hilton.
daughter. Is she dead?
It. Let me see. Let's see. Francesca. Oh, she died in 2015.
Oh, and I didn't know this. Francesca was born following a pregnancy that resulted from a R by Conrad Hilton, her husband at the time. They divorced before Francesca was born. What did she die from? Oh, poor thing. Okay, so now I see. All right.
She had a major stroke, unfortunately.
Shut up. Oh, so what about Ava's kids? Didn't Ava have children?
Well, the trust generally is passed down to it only doesn't go to the family, it goes to the owner of the trust.
Right, but
That's
it's the Gabor family trust, and they always did everything together, didn't they?
well, I think he has power of attorney. That's the problem. I think Jaja was like the controller of the trust, and then when she died, it passed on to her husband. I'm guessing that's the way it broke down.
Right, right.
Like I don't know why he couldn't will it. I'm not sure why he couldn't will it unless there's none of them left.
Remember, he said Jaja wanted it that way. It has to be run by a
A
family
family
member,
member.
or it's dissolved and the city of LA gets it.
Welcome to California.
um, what did you think? Okay, so we meet his friend Isaac. They've known each other for a long time, and Isaac feels comfortable enough that he could say whatever he wants to Frederick, and Frederick doesn't care. Like, I like their relationship.
Yeah, it's a real friendship.
Mm-hmm. And Frederick has adopted 5 other adult males in the past, and they all failed. Um, the men have paid for the title, but they eventually became very rude to him after the adoption, though during the process of the adoption, they did treat him very well. Frederick now feels very rushed to find someone because he's getting old. Um, didn't you like when he said, I'm 78 or 80? What
Right.
happened to 79? Does he not know? Um, he says he's getting old. He doesn't want the trust to go to the city of Los Angeles. Isaac has said he's going to try to help him find someone because he doesn't like how Frederick is going about trying to find people. So they meet for breakfast or whatever, lunch or whatever. And Frederick has his computer. He wants to go through some options. Frederick doesn't want somebody from the computer. He doesn't trust the computer. He wants someone who's young with a good job, who's sporty, has a military bearing, and someone who he can meet down at the local Gucci.
That was hilarious when he said that they hang out at the Gucci store. I was like, they do?
Gucci's where you find. I'm going to my local Gucci store, and I'm going to find me a new mommy and daddy. I'm going to talk to y'all after my adoption.
I hollered. I hollered
Oh
when he said that.
my God. Frederick. I feel like Frederick isn't. What's going on in here isn't quite clicking, and it's coming out of here. And we're just like, oh, what? Isaac is a good friend to Frederick. He's a very good friend to him. My goodness. He puts up with that mess.
He does.
Don't they remind you of like the Odd Couple?
Yes.
That's how I felt watching them. And I think like they really calmed down the ratchet on this show. I needed this. Wait, adopt Isaac. He can't, Viva, because he told him that he's too fucking old.
Right, because he needs someone young who can have children.
Oh my God. And then Frederick tells Isaac to take a picture of him with all of the food in front of him.
Right.
And when he finished, he said, you can have your fish again.
That was funny.
I like them.
And he's like, Isaac, I can't do this. How do you do this? When he tried to open the honey,
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know how to do this. He's like, what? He's like, here you go. He's like, what? He's like, you want me to squeeze it for you too? No.
Frederick pretending like he used to having a staff.
Right.
Living in that cluttered condo. Oh. But yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. So we're gonna see who Isaac finds for Frederick. Let's hope it's somebody better than the last 5 men that he's adopted.
The last 5, correct.
Did he dissolve those adoptions? They have no claim on this?
He must have.
Oh my God. Also, if he had to sell the adoption, it's because there's no money left from the state. I think he's selling his principality.
Right.
Not the estate. I think he's selling the princedom or whatever you call it that he's inherited. I think that's what he's selling.
I agree, because he said they were all about the title. That's all they wanted.
Yeah. Oh, I think my delivery's here. Okay. Who's next?
Let's see. Let's see. Who we have? Bianca, then Ileana, the adoptees. Is there one more?
Wait, hold on.
Kim.
April says should have adopted with Jaja when she was alive. I think she was expecting Francesca to take it. But there was a few years where Jaja was infirm. She was like, she wasn't 100%. So I think that's probably, like, when did Jaja die?
Jaja, let's see what we got going on. She passed December 2016. Oh, so the daughter passed first.
Right, but Jaja was in very bad health for a few years before she died. I think it was too late. Food and beverage. No, I think it was UPS. Sorry. Every time I see a rotisserie chicken, oh, I went and got a rotisserie chicken today from the Costco. I'm lazy. What can I say? And I also got their cauliflower crust pizza.
Jaja was 99?
Yeah. She was in very bad health. I think she intended for the estate to go to Francesca. Francesca predeceased her, and they did not change the terms of the estate. She got caught, and they were trying to lock him out, and she got caught, and he wound up with it. And do I think he played a role in it?
Okay. Should we just bust this out right now?
What?
Okay, according to Jaja's, this is Wikipedia, I think. According to Jaja's bio, she had 1, 2, 3, 4 sons by. Are these her sons or these adopted sons? I'm curious. Let me click on this. Sorry, keep talking while Bobby knows.
Wait, who were we going to next?
What's his? Oh, Bianca and the
Oh, you like them. But my mind is changing towards them in this episode. Maybe if he's not in a pool and has all of his clothes on, maybe he doesn't seem that creepy to me.
I'm sorry. This Jaja thing has got me thrown for a loop. Because according to this, it says like they have 4 sons. I'm completely lost now.
Maybe he adopted those sons while he was married, while Jaja was still alive.
Full name, blah, blah, blah. Siblings, blah, blah, blah. Children. But we see, now we have to go through if these were adopted, because it has them listed as. Sorry, y'all. I just kind of went down a rabbit hole. I'm just so confused because it's not. Let me see if you keep talking. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm like, what are you doing?
Okay.
Aha.
So you found
these
them?
were, yes. So this is what it was. So this is just from Marcus. Adoption and title. In 2006, he bought his name for several $1 million by being adopted by Frederick, husband of Jaja, who had himself obtained his name by adoption. The adoption and name change did not confer any actual title of nobility. Blah, 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 yada, yada. So these were adoptions while she was alive. I did not realize that. I thought these were after she died. The way it was framed to me, the way I took it.
He been shady from the jump.
Wow.
He been shady from the jump.
Okay, in November 2014, Marcus Prince von All was sentenced to prison again. See, this is
again.
The
And there's
judgment.
even some speculation
Oh,
regarding his own adoption by his adoptive mother.
right.
So yeah.
Oh, he was in jail for tax evasion or charged with tax evasion and fraud. See,
Mhm.
oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I have to let me bookmark this so I go back to it.
He's a character, a very shady character, but a character. Welcome, welcome everybody in the live chat. And Deborah, we're so glad that you made our live today. Yay! Yes, we're a drama-free little nook of YouTube. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. All right, so read up on him. He's
I am.
he's
I
a
am.
character. He's a character. That's why I was looking forward to seeing him. He's a con artist. Always has been, always will be.
But the way this was framed, I mean, you probably knew this before me. I'm just
Mhm.
kind of meeting him. I've heard of him, but didn't pay no attention. But the
Mhm.
way it was framed, when he said 5 adoptions, I'm like, dang, you adopted all the children out of Jaja like that, one a year.
No.
But now to find out this was when she was alive, I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my goodness.
Yeah. He's a shady one. All right, so let's get on over to Derek, Carol, and Bianca. All right, so Derek says some mess that before Bianca came into their lives, he wasn't happy. And then dumbass Carol agrees and says that Bianca saved their marriage. Fuck am I watching? They go to the lawyer. So they starting this process of adoption
Mm-hmm.
on Carol's birthday. So Carol feels like that's all great and everything. Bianca says point blank period, I want stability. I want a home.
Like
Um,
she's very honest about that, and I can't get mad at her
mhm,
for that.
yep. And then they're gonna send because Bianca's mom has passed on, rest in peace,
Mm-hmm.
but her father is still alive. And so they're gonna have to send a notice to her father as he's still living, but because she's an adult, they don't need his permission
Right.
for this couple to adopt her. Okay. And they're in New York, so that's the law in New York. Um, she says her father wasn't there for her when she needed him emotionally, like when she
Mm-hmm.
was getting thrown out of her apartment, she was in financial distress, and she says basically if it wasn't for Carol and Derek, she don't know where she would have been. Like they really helped her when she needed it. um
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Um when Derek and Carol officially adopt Bianca, she will become their heir. And Carol's stepdaughter from her other marriage, where the potential adoptee was sleeping with her husband, that cuts Brittany out. She has no long. She doesn't have a
Right.
claim on their estate once they adopt Bianca. And so now I'm looking at Brittany like Brit. What's the nickname? Bonky?
Bubs.
Bubs. Okay. What's your motivation, girl? Your daddy is the one who screwed all this up.
That's what I didn't understand. How are you mad at Carol when your daddy was sleeping with the would be adopted person?
And listen, you noticed that she said when she was at Broward College, she got the girl from there.
Right.
That's down here in Florida. That's down here.
Broward County. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow.
I was like, only in Florida.
Like I wonder now, did her first is her first husband still alive, or did he pass on?
She doesn't really talk about that first husband because they've
Right.
only focused on the second husband who cheated
Correct.
on her with the potential adoptee, and that's Bub's daddy.
Right. But yes, the mother brought him into the home, but the daddy was the one. I just don't understand how you mad at her and not your if he's still alive, your daddy.
I don't know. Unless she's mad, like you said, because if he is deceased and Carol inherited something, and she
Mhm.
was hoping that if Carol remained childless, she would then get that back. That's maybe a theory there. Why she's so upset. Was that all you was keeping your relationship with Carol for? Was the hopes of getting something? I don't know. Wait. I got burnt for the first time and can't find aloe vera. Go into the Caribbean supermarkets. Go to some place like Bravo or Presidente, and you gonna find, or go into a Publix in like a black neighborhood, and you'll find big sticks of big leaves of aloe. Sorry, Ablavi. Yeah, if she had bub, why did she bring in some? That's a good question, April. If she had bub, why did she bring in someone else who ended up cheating with her husband? That's a really good question. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not going to be good enough to help with the sunburn if you use a lotion with aloe. That's like totally diluted, and only a small percentage of that lotion will have yeah. If you got a burn, try and find like the whole leaf of aloe at the
and squeeze it out.
Yeah. Like I said, if you see a Bravo, if you see a Presidente, or if you're in a black neighborhood and you see Publix or even Winn-Dixie, go in. Yanni says, it's him, people, it's him. She's doing all of this because he wants to be the dad. Yeah, I agree with that. I think she would have been happy just helping Bianca financially.
Right.
But Derek wants to have like a legacy or something.
Right.
And he wants to be a daddy of something.
It seems to be more about him than Carol, because Carol already had Brittany. You know what I mean? And I think what is, even though he has a relationship with Brittany, it's not his relationship. It's like he's coming into that relationship.
And Ablavi, if they don't have the aloe at the Publix that's near you, ask someone that's in the vegetable section if they know where they can get it nearby. Sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. And then also, what did you think about him being upset with Brittany's stance?
I can see because it's upsetting Carol. So I could see him having a concern because it's upsetting his wife. But I don't think he should say anything because I'm questioning your intentions with Bianca.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was wondering, because my whole thing is this. I'm with you. I can understand you being upset for Carol. I get that. But you really need to have a come to Jesus moment where you take in what Corey said. Everything Corey said, then combine it with what Brittany is saying. There's concern on both ends. And, sir, if we're going to call it thing, Corey's concerned about you, and so is Brittany. And why are you bringing this young woman into your home? And why are you so adamant about doing this?
Brittany is Carol's stepdaughter. Like, Carol doesn't have any kids. Neither does Derek. Brittany is the daughter of her second husband.
Right.
Yeah.
Does one thing make sense? Like, if everyone's saying we have concerns about you, Derek, and you, Bianca, there's a problem there. And you have to take into account that this is Derek, this is your brother, and this is Carol's stepdaughter. So two people who really probably have no communication with each other, saying the same thing, have the same concerns.
I don't know. It's just so weird. It's just, but why? I still question Brittany's motives, though.
Right.
But Carol did say something. Hold on, wait. Carol said something. Carol said, okay, so they're at Carol's little birthday celebration. They love it that they started the adoption process on her birthday. Carol wishes that Brittany was there or had called. We find out that Derek reached out, but wasn't prepared for how strongly it was impacting Brittany. Carol tried to talk to Brittany about Bianca, but in the same time, she's there trying to reassure Bianca so that she doesn't think that any of this is her fault.
Right.
Carol says that Bianca doesn't know exactly what happened during that first adoption process with the interaction between her husband and the girl. But Bianca can feel that there's something else going on and a conversation needs to be had. Girl, focus on your adoption and don't worry about grown folks' business.
Exactly. This doesn't concern you.
I mean, it kind of does in a way, but don't mess up.
Don't mess. Correct, because you trying to get involved with Brittany, y'all fall out, they can kick you out anytime.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so Yanni says you're not catching my drift. Brittany don't want him as a sugar daddy. He wants a sugar daughter. It's sickening. But Brittany's a stepdaughter. You mean Bianca?
Bianca.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Bianca does have different motives. I don't think she's really interested in Derek the way how Derek is interested in her.
Right. She just wants security.
Yeah.
That's it.
My mind changed towards her. It did.
But
not towards him.
My mind didn't change towards her because I knew what she was all about. She's very upfront and very clear, and I appreciate that about her. So I can't get mad at someone when they're honest.
But that scene at the pool was thrown in there to throw us off. It really was. But once we got to hear a little bit more from Bianca, from her mouth, and her background, I was like, okay, I'm seeing things differently. Wait, hold on. I really wish people wouldn't have scheduled me in a FFM. Sarah, there's always the replay. Go to your meeting. We will still be here later, okay? Okay, Yanni says, no, Bianca wants a sugar daddy too, at least to be spoiled by him as such. The reason Brittany is upset is because she has no real intentions towards him. We don't know what Brittany's intentions are because we haven't heard from Brittany. Huh? That's confusion. Explain it to me, Jamal, because you understand things where I don't.
Where am I at? Just so I
know. Yanni's comment.
Okay, sorry. So no, Bianca wants a sugar daddy too, at least to be spoiled by him and such. The reason Brittany is upset is because she has no real intentions towards him. Okay, so basically Bianca is about the money to be spoiled, and Brittany is actually in it for the family. Like Brittany doesn't care about him in that kind of way. She doesn't need anything from him. So that's why she's upset, because she sees this woman coming in who she doesn't know, in a similar vein as the woman who came in and messed with her family. So Brittany's all about intent. She doesn't think Bianca's motives are pure.
Oh, so then this is how all of us feel. Good Lord. Right. Anything else with them?
Nope.
Ay. Bianca reminds me of somebody that I know. Her facial features remind me so much of an old friend of mine. Okay, so you want to do Kim and Jose, Valerie and Joe and Vicky?
Yes.
Ugh. This is just getting messy. Okay, so it's the aftermath. When Valerie goes into her room crying hysterically, and Kim comes in, and you know, Valerie feels like they're taking her daughter away, and that this was an ambush because Kim sent her the plane tickets, telling her to come there for the birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it was so important for Valerie to meet Vicky and Joe. She's now all putting it together, and she feels betrayed. Valerie says that Kim told her that um, the kids didn't need her because the kids had Jose's parents. So it seems like Kim was saying a few little mistruths along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie says that she did the best that she could with the situation that she had. Valerie asked her if she would reconsider not going through with the adoption. Kim is now like, she's shocked and taken aback by this reaction by Valerie. I don't know how she was expecting Valerie to react. But she's going to rethink the adoption, or at least like take a step back. She didn't think that Valerie would be so hurt by it. It's still tense. And finally we see Jose come in. Like he's scoping out the situation. He's scoping out. And, and he's bringing in tissues. He's trying to like make sure that everything stays calm, but he's scoping it out, but still keeping a distance. Valerie says that she has never hurt so bad. When they are, Jose then comes to his wife's defense, and Valerie says that they don't have to supply him. Wait, what? Oh, Valerie says that they don't have to adopt Kim so that Vicky and Joe could be grandparents to the kids, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true. And she says she's willing to share the grandkids with them. She says that Valerie says that she picked Kim to be her daughter. This triggers Kim. Kim says she's sick of hearing that story because they didn't act like they wanted her, and that they used to say to her that she needed to be grateful that they adopted her. Valerie says she don't remember those things. I don't believe anybody who says she don't remember those things, but okay.
Right. Because it's not a denial.
Right. So Valerie says that it's water under the bridge. And Jose steps up and says, but is it?
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yanni says, did you all see what I meant when I said he's not that upset and he agrees with his wife? What's life? Yanni, which situation are you speaking of?
He agrees with his wife. It has to be this couple. They're the only one with a husband. Wait, no, Derek. Oh, husbands are just going along with the wife's want.
Yeah, Viva. This is what we think too. Like the husbands are just kind of along for the ride with their wives. They because nothing they say is going to change anything.
But also, what you said last week, like it at the beginning, I don't think they thought that it would have gotten to this place, so they didn't say anything. It's just like, oh, that's
A
my
phase.
wife, another cuckoo idea. It's okay. She'll get over it.
Yanni said that he gave Kim his full support while he was talking to her mom the next morning.
What? Yeah, that's where he is now. Because he backed up Kim by asking if it's really water under the bridge, and then he shut it down by saying, don't you need to get your bags packed and get to the airport?
Right.
I loved it. Because Valerie was getting ready to throw another tantrum on that couch. Let's just call a thing a thing.
She was. You know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling he's seen this before because his reaction was very matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen they've done this before, this back and forth, and I bet you he's heard the same argument because when
Yes.
she said, "I'm tired of hearing this story," I'm like, okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
he comes in, I'm like, okay, this must have been a topic of conversation before.
Right, because how old are their kids? He's probably been there during the breakdown of her
Right.
disagreement with her mom, where they stopped talking. And then, of course, as husband and wife, she's probably said about her traumatic upbringing with them,
Because then this little girl turned 8, 9, or 10.
something like
So
that. And she
so if
hasn't spoken to her mother for
in
8 years.
8 years, so he was there at the beginning of the
Mm-hmm.
breakdown.
Yep. And he's going to
Mm,
take his wife's side, as he should. Um, Next, we see Vicky coming over with flowers and for Kim, and she wants to know basically what happened with Valerie. Um, we find out that it's been a week since Valerie's left, and Valerie hasn't spoken to Kim since she left. Kim tells Vicky that she's really considering the adoption. She's
hmm
really thinking about it. And she's weighing both sides, but she hopes that after meeting with the attorney, she will know what to do. Kim's eye, not Kim, Vicky's eyes got so big. Vicky don't like that.
Nope.
Vicky want them kids.
Exactly.
And this is what I don't like about Vicky. You have taken ownership of something that even when you adopt Kim, you can't take ownership of.
Right.
Where's all this energy for your sons or children? Go and ask them again for grandkids. Why is she so dead set for this woman and her children? Someone needs to address that,
hmm
Jose. But this was so interesting. This was so interesting. I'm really looking side eye at Vicky.
I'm gonna side eye all of them in this particular couple, all of them.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Don't you think it was shady to tell her the evening before she would leave the next day? I think it was like mitigating damages.
Right.
She had to have known that her mother would have carried on like a sourpuss. She really had to have known. She was anticipating that and let the fallout happen after the birthday party, but right before going back home, and we can be done with that. Like I didn't like how she was acting so smug around Kim's mom at the party. Yeah, I don't like how Vicky behaves. I really don't. It bugs the heck out of you. Oh my God. It's just crazy. Okay, so Kim got real parents the first time. Flawed, messed up, struggling. Kim wants do-overs. It is a bit odd. And why aren't Jose's parents enough? A lot of us don't have the traditional mother-father unit in our lives. But when you blend families and get married, like there's always other people there. They might not technically be grandparents, but they're still family. Like it feels like she's going after this nuclear family dynamic that I don't think even exists in real life.
Right.
How about his own parents? Where are they? Why aren't they fighting with them? Why aren't they fighting? Because the adoption is of Kim,
hmm
but Vicky makes it seem like she's getting the grandchildren, which is
Right.
messing up the whole. I think this is why we're so perturbed by this. You're adopting Kim. You're not adopting her children,
Correct.
right? Yeah. Yes, Deborah, finish watching the episode. It is cray cray. It is cray cray. Um, Peru Chris says it's definitely a vengeful tea. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She is coming across that way with Valerie. Valerie's not doing herself any favors either. If she would admit to some of the things that Kim is saying and apologize for them, instead of
Mm-hmm.
throwing in her face, you should be grateful we adopted you.
Right.
There needs to be some concessions on both sides in order to heal that relationship.
Because if Valerie's acknowledging that she didn't do the best because her husband sounds like he was very controlling, and she just went along with it, ma'am, you're culpable as well. And that's what Kim is looking for. And Kim, you need to be like, you know what? I acted out because you made me feel this way. And y'all need to either move past her or move away from each other.
Yep.
Because this is not it. Because I get where Kim is coming from. She said, we didn't speak for 8 years when after our last argument, and the mom was like, and this is what really rubbed me the wrong way with Valerie, when she said like, oh, I was just respecting your wishes. I'm like, what mother doesn't speak to your child for 8 years just after one fight? That didn't make any sense to me either. That was annoying.
I don't know. It's like in this particular family thing, this segment, I feel like they're still missing pieces because of this whole argument between Kim and Valerie. And then I think we're missing pieces with Vicky's intentions. I don't think she's being 100% honest. Let's see. I didn't think about this. Viva says, imagine watching this as Vicky's biological child. Can you imagine their reaction, seeing their mother behavior?
They have
not even her behavior, just right, but her ownership over this woman and her children, her how she speaks.
Right. Vicky's very possessive, which is an extreme red flag for me.
Okay, so anything else with them?
Nope.
Okay, so let's get to the trouble tree of this franchise. Danny, Christy, and Ileana. It opens up with Danny chronicling his adoption journey on social media, and Christy out in the car crying again. She feels like there are limits to her generosity, and it's stretched to the max. He's bitten off more than he can chew, and right now she's chewing on his behalf, where we get the title of the episode from. Christy says that she has a very small group of friends, and they wonder why Danny is trying to hurt her with this adoption. Christy goes to meet her friend Sue for lunch, and they obviously discuss his latest shenanigans. We find out that Christy has left Danny for a period of 6 months previously because he's a chronic cheater. Christy is embarrassed by Danny. But the reason why she returned after that 6-month break is because he promised her that he was going to change. And, she came back thinking so. But after a few years, he went back to cheating. Sue asks if she's thinking of leaving again. And Christy says that she is thinking about it because she's told him that their marriage isn't strong enough to support bringing in another person into the home. She's also thinking about Ileana, and she goes, the girl, because she doesn't have anybody to depend on. She's not completely heartless. And I think she's putting herself in Ileana's shoe because I bet you at some point she has felt like she didn't have anybody to depend on with regards to dealing with Danny. So she says Christy is hoping for better. She was hoping for better when she went back with Danny, but that didn't happen. let's see. Then we see Danny asking Christy about the doctor's appointment yesterday. And it is a high risk pregnancy that Ileana has, because remember, the baby is very
Mm-hmm.
small,
And breach.
and breech. And she talks about possibly a C-section. And he says that he hasn't spent much money. Christy says that she sees that her retirement fund is being spent on this adoption, because he's saying, oh, I've only spent $3,000. We could see you spent more than
She
$3,000.
said 4 times.
Yes. And so now I'm thinking why Christy came back was because it was financial.
Right.
And Christy says that she's trying to sort. She's trying to be supportive of his needs, but he's not supporting her. And Christy said that she wanted them to work on them before bringing someone else in. Christy is looking at her options to leave. We are seeing a woman in crisis.
Yeah, and it's hard to watch.
It
All I
is.
kept saying, the only thing I really have to say for this couple is run, Christy, run. I thought that's really all I have at this point, because he blatantly disrespects you. He doesn't care about your feelings. He does whatever he wants to do and expects you to pick up his slack. That's what Ileana is his slack. And how are you going to say that you've only spent 3,000 on her, a total of 3,000, when y'all bought a $5,600 trailer? Stop it. Please
Yep.
stop.
And they
Please
haven't even
stop.
started the adoption.
Right.
They haven't started the adoption and the immigration process and all of them baby crap that he bought. Baby stuff is expensive.
Super expensive.
Even when you go to Ross, it's expensive. And they was at a real baby store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then you saw when she asked him, she said, I need your help. I need your support. You know, he's like, I have my job. And she's like, well, can't you get a job locally?
Local.
And he's like, well, then how are we going to pay for everything if I don't have a job? No, get a job locally.
Right.
Get a job. Like, he creates these messes and he wants her to like sweep it up.
He expects her to do it. And here's my biggest issue with Christy. I'm going to put some of this on Christy. Christy, you said yourself he is a chronic cheater, which means he cheats on you regularly. So why do you expect him to care about your feelings now?
Or why does she expect the behavior to change?
That too.
And they don't have like 1 or 2 year marriage. They got more than a decade together, right? Like 20 years or something.
A long while.
This is killing her. This is killing her. I don't know. Again, I was wondering why she was staying, but this episode made me think when she brought up the retirement fund, she's there for her money. This is crazy. This is crazy. Let me just go through some of these comments. That girl says, I'm so here for this. Yanni says they don't. Steven, she needs to work and healthy relationship with the real one instead. Okay. So she's able to leave. Leave then. Yep. Steven agrees with you, Yanni. Deborah 17 says, Christy, in my opinion, is very unhappy. Ciao. That girl says, I hate that I'm late. I'm going to catch what I miss afterwards. This show is wild and I can't with these people. I feel you, that girl. Oh my God. Christy says, Steven says, Christy don't want to have to support herself. Yeah, what does she work as?
Right.
Yanni says, Deborah, for sure, but we are responsible for our own happiness. If you put in someone else's hand, we'll always get disappointed.
Always.
True. At this point, I'll take my half and leave. Yeah. Before he spends it all.
Right. That's what I was thinking earlier this morning. Here's what Christy needs to do. is be like, go to the bank, withdraw a good substantial sum of money, what's left, and hit the road and call your friend Sue to have you meet you somewhere.
Mm.
I'm serious. Just pack a bag with some clothes, just enough clothes to where he doesn't really notice that anything's missing because he's not going to be there anyway. Matter
Mm-hmm.
of fact, what you do is you leave the day he's supposed to come back from a trip.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you're not leaving Ileana completely alone.
Bump Ileana.
Well, no, you can't leave her completely alone because well, you leaving, so you're not gonna
She
clear she's
know the
still
number
living
to
anyway.
911. Bump Ileana. Mm. Viva says the same thing as you. As sad as Christy seems, I only feel a little bad for her. She needs to get her a little bag together and leave. TF. She knows him well enough to know he won't change.
He's a chronic cheater, like Peru said. Chronic equals
Mm-hmm.
ongoing. He's not gonna change,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like. And you need to understand, like the way he's interacting with this young woman is not a good look. Get up out of there.
FM wants to know what does he have on his wife that keeps her so mentally controlled and trapped there.
Oh, he's broken her down over the years.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
that's all it is. He's broken her down.
He's
He's destroyed.
devalued her and broken her spirit.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. That girl, the second he mentioned it, I would have been out, like out. He's gross and pervy, in my opinion. And then Steven says, yes, Debbie, now the finances are blown. She should have filed for divorce before this foolishness. Yep.
Hmm.
April says, Ileana is going to be trouble, already making demands. Child. Don't they all? Yanni says, Viva, my compassion have limits. God help those who help themselves. That girl says maybe she liked to be a victim.
Christy. I mean, I just
That's
think
what she knows.
I just think she's just been broken down so far that she doesn't know anything
Mm-hmm.
else.
Okay, Running Grey Wolf says, I see a severely emotionally abused woman, and Ileana and the baby really concern me.
Yep.
Wow. Saying Christy is very unhappy is an understatement. I had to correct myself. Wow. Exactly, Stephen. Save my part of the money. Why didn't Christy just refuse to be a part of this? He ain't all that. Oh, well, she could have, because he's always said, you know where the door is.
Hmm.
He clearly doesn't care what any of her friends say. Use aloe from the actual plan if you can. Okay. If they don't have all natural, oh Lord have mercy. Okay, how far back am I? My gosh.
You're pretty far.
Yeah, Christy needs therapy. Christy need a good man and some therapy.
Right.
Yes, you do. Someone to treat her and value her, and teach her and make her rediscover how to value herself.
That too. That's the most important part.
She is broken. Oh my God. Well, this is getting better. And you see, we got another storyline coming next week.
Yes.
Where are they finding these people?
Right.
But that dude, oh my God, he's going really in on the
Nevo.
manicurist.
Yeah, Nevo. Yeah.
I
He's
don't
I'm
know.
gonna grill. I don't know you. And he's like, I'm gonna grill her. I'm like, man, have you been in jail? Like, wow, okay.
If he asks that question instead of saying like, hi, how are you? Like the first thing out of his mouth, if it's that question, oh my God. I'm scared, y'all.
Oh,
Jamal, this is good.
FM says, where are those trailers located on the property for? See, I want to go back to that. When he said like, "Oh, don't worry, we're not gonna put you in one. We're not gonna put you in one." I'm like, "See, Ileana, get up out." Why would you say that?
I don't know, y'all. Is that where the bodies are buried? He used to be a survivorist.
Right.
I know I'm not saying that right. Sorry, but
Survivalist.
yeah, he had a business. Um, I would be interested to see what's in the trailers, though. I ain't gonna lie. But those aren't even trailers; those are containers. Those are shipping
Right.
containers
Those are
back
shipping
there.
containers.
Interesting. But they also seem to be struggling financially. And there's no health insurance for her. I wonder if there's health insurance for him and Christy.
Right. I would
Because
assume so, though.
he's a driver. He's like a truck driver.
Like a hauler, but it makes sense because it would make sense that they would have insurance, but Ileana wouldn't because how would she? Because
She's
she's
not
not with
legal.
she's not a citizen, and they
Hmm.
haven't adopted her yet, so it makes sense that she wouldn't have medical.
Why didn't he just leave her over in Austria for her to have the baby over there? That would have cut down on their costs significantly.
And that was my thing. They probably been better off sending her money. If they wanted to really support her, they would be better off, and it'd been way cheaper
Mm-hmm.
because they would have saved the $3,000 he said he spent. They would have saved the $5,600. Okay, let me put it this way: like 3,000. Christy said he spent at least 4 times the amount since she's been there, so we're gonna add another 12. That's 15,000 plus the trailer. That's 5,600. They could have saved 20K, and I probably bet that 20K would have been better used over there than over here.
Wait a minute. What if his ultimate trajectory is not Ileana but her kid?
Why? Why the kids?
Because you got fresh meat that you can raise from the ground up.
I wouldn't think that. I personally think it's a sister wife situation. That's my working theory.
Oh no. Well, there goes her retirement. Um, I don't think they have much in the bank. They're probably living off of credit cards. And does she have a claim on the land?
Probably not
Because his
because
dad is still there in the back part of the land, so she probably can't even get a portion of that if she were to divorce him. Oh my God, this is so sad. This is so sad. This was Adults Adopting Adults, Season 1, Episode 3, Chewing on His Behalf. Y'all, this is a messed up show, and it looks like it's going to get worse.
it is.
Aren't you glad that we were doing this show?
This is a whole just oof. But it's intriguing though at least. There's real emotional things going on here. I'm just trying to figure out okay, what's really going on here. And like it's interesting because like no one's innocent.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You
wait.
know,
Yanni's saying the land only belongs to him, but if the father is
mm,
still alive, living on a piece of the land, it's generational land. That isn't it the dad's land until he dies, and then Danny gets it? Is
right.
that how it works?
That's how it works.
Okay. Yes, Yanni. Thank you guys, because you guys turned us on to this. I would not have had a clue. I haven't watched A&E since, wasn't it Bobby? Being Bobby Brown, wasn't that on A&E?
I think somebody saw interventions too.
Oh, Interventions was too
And
sad for me.
hoarders and storage wars.
Hoarders, I wanted to vomit. And Storage Wars, I never watched that.
Storage
Like
wars
after
was funny.
Being Bobby Brown left, I was just like, oh. Oh my goodness. All right. So Jamal, any final thoughts on this episode?
No, we're good. Another week down.
Yes, yes. And Sunday is the season finale for Salt Lake City.
It should be. because the reunion's airing on the 27th. I saw.
Okay. All right. So, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and come on back here, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific for The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Hopefully, it won't be a disappointing ending.
Right.
Pray. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Jamal, until next time.
But of course.
All righty. Bye.
Bye.